Morning and welcome back to B for TV, your daily dose of industry information. Today we're joined once again by Pawel from our policy and compliance team, and today's episode is looking at the voluntary standard for customs intermediaries as it's currently being developed. So Pawel, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you, Brooke.
So what's the update on this?
That's a tricky one. Some of our members may remember that back in, and I think you can see it on the screen, back in 2023, HMRC ran a consultation about the actual voluntary standard. And
Yep.
then the work on it started last year.
Mm-hmm.
BEEF was on the steering group
Yep.
representing our sector, our industry, so freight forwarders and customs agents. Again, many freight forwarders are customs agents at the same time, so we're very much interested in this particular standard.
Yeah.
And the work started with the BSI, the British Standards Institution. We reviewed the first draft over the last few months. Um, and then there will be further updates because the standard in itself is quite an interesting thing.
Yeah.
And we've spoken to a number of our members. And we got comments about, well, we already have some standards. We have the AEO, but this particular set of rules will serve a different purpose. So
Right,
this will
okay.
focus more on quality, consistency of agents' work, the way they communicate with their customers. Whereas the AEO element is or the AEO standard as such is more focused on compliance, on that sort of on the legal aspects of what we do as customs agents and people involved in international trade. So you'll see that what you'll find in the standard is going to be much more commercial in a way. It's more about that sort of interaction between
Yeah.
you as a customs agent and your customer. So that's been the work over the last few months. Like I'm saying, a lot of work that's gone into that.
Yeah.
So that's probably the biggest update in many ways because the second draft compared to the first draft, they will be completely two different documents.
Right, okay.
So, yep, that's what's happened. You know, a busy time for us and
Yeah.
an important development, I would say. And definitely members will, well, need to go through it.
Yeah, of course. So when we look at that development work, do we kind of have an expectation of when that's going to finish?
On the 4th of August, the plan is that the standard will go out for a public consultation. So obviously, we'll make sure that our members know about that. And then from that point onwards, obviously, there'll be, again, the process of collating reviews,
Yeah.
talking about feedback. But in reality, I don't expect it to sort of come to close the actual work before the end of this world,
Right.
this year. Not so much this world. Hopefully, that will be later than that. But that's at the moment. That's where we are at the moment. So that's the voluntary standard.
And is there anything that we want our members to kind of take away from this episode today?
We'll take part in the public consultation,
Yeah.
which will begin in August. It's important that we look at that as an industry. You know, we understand what's going to be expected of us when the standard's actually introduced, and you know, we also want to hear your feedback on that.
That's great, Pavel. Thank you so much for the update.
Thank you.
As Pavel said, this consultation will be open on the 4th of August, so make sure you keep an eye out from any communications from BEFA on this. That's all for today's edition of BEFA TV, your daily dose of industry information.